Hey guys, Marmalade here with Marmalade Outdoors. How's everybody doing? We'll continue with great backpacking hacks or tips. I did one earlier about my electronics kit. It always goes in my ditty bag and a Ziploc bag. I also want to go over my first aid kit. Now, the thing with this is that I put basically everything I bring. Now, I don't always have all this. I kind of threw a lot of stuff in here that I have brought or do bring, but it's very trail specific. Some things always come with me, some things don't, but I kind of threw everything in here, so don't think that my first aid kit's pretty big, but normally I have about maybe half of this. So I'll just show you kind of everything I may or may not bring, and it might help you, give you some ideas too. So let's get into it. The one thing that I have to have for me is body glide. Chafing's a real thing out there, especially when you have long stretches where you're sweating and you're not very clean and you're kind of dirty. You'll get rashes really bad. So I do body glide. I do a small one there. Let's see what else we got here. Now I put this in here. I don't always bring this, but this is a little bit of I forget the brand, but it's kind of like Bengay. It's for the heat. And there was one trail that my back was not feeling great, the lower back, so I use this to spread some of that on if I got the kind of a sore back. Sometimes when I first get back on trail every summer when I'm doing some longer hikes, my back's a little sore, so I kind of get stronger, so I use that if I need it, so I bring that. Alright guys, something I always bring is a couple of things of tenacious tape. If you don't know what that is, it's very strong, but it's great for like if you get a puncture on your jacket or tear or on your tent. I've patched up tents and stuff sacks. I get this from lightsmith.com. So Lightsmith, L-I-T-E, Smith. And they sell backpacker stuff in little quantities. And so a lot of things I have are from there actually. But I do clear, so there's different colors. I have clear and I have black. So like I have a black jacket, so if I get a tear in that, I can put that on and you won't really notice it. Really important to have. Tenacious tape is awesome. I carry some Leuco tape. This has been a lifesaver if you guys ever use this stuff. It looks like I already used some of that. But this is great for blisters. It won't come off for a good, you can sweat and get in the water and do everything. It won't come off for a good 3 to 7 days. So like if you're in a long stretch and you get a hot spot on your foot or you get a blister or a cut or anything like that, I use Leuco tape and it works great. So I just have it on, I found it a big giant roll somewhere in a hiker box, so I just cut off a big chunk and rolled it up. So that's what that is. Last time I hiked, I tried to organize a little better. I used to have everything loose, so this is a bunch of different sized Band-Aids and a little Ziploc here, just to make everything more organized. All right, this is for anti-diarrhea. So if you do get Giardia or any kind of something, kind of bug, this will help you. It's really important when you're out in the middle of nowhere, especially like in the Sierra where you don't have towns all the time, to have this so you can counteract in case you do get some kind of Giardia or something like that. So always carry some of that. I actually think I've had this too long, so I'm probably gonna have to buy some new stuff. I think this is expired. I gotta check it out when I have time. These are something I brought sometimes. They're little floss toothpicks. I don't know if that focuses or not, but little floss toothpicks. I may take them out of this case, even though it's super light, and put them in a Ziploc. I bring this little piece of scrubby. Believe it or not, it's everything from scrubbing out a pot to rust off things. I always wear a silver bracelet, and this, when I hike, when I sweat, it tends to tarnish a little bit, so I can shine up my silver. But yeah, it literally weighs nothing, but I bring that. That's what I do. It's a little Brillo pad. I think I got these at Z-Packs or Lightsmith. It's a little baby pair of, let's see if I can get them out, of tweezers. Very small. I had regular tweezers, but anytime I can save space and weight, one thing at a time, that's what I do. So yeah, check those out. Really small. I have a little sewing kit here, some black thread. I have some like kind of diaper pins. That's what I hang my wet socks on my pack with. I have a few needles in there, so if I get any kind of tear, I can fix my shorts, let's say. All right, so I did the whole thing where I cut down a toothbrush before, and I found that my hands are filthy in my mouth, and it didn't save that much weight. So what I did was, to go light, I have a child-sized bamboo toothbrush, very small. It's by Wee Bamboo, W-E-E, or no, Woo Bamboo, sorry, it's pretty used. W-O-O Bamboo, all one word. But yeah, it's a child's bamboo toothbrush and a little toothpaste. All right, I bought a different sewing kit, which may be the one that replaces the one I just showed you, but it's from Z-Packs. It's called the Sewing Repair Kit, and it's got this really crazy strong thread, and it's got a big curved needle, so you can fix things that are maybe difficult to do. But yeah, it's very light. Comes in a little container thing, and yeah, I haven't used it yet, and thankfully I haven't because I haven't had any tears lately, but yeah, I may start bringing that instead of the other sewing kit. All right, the next thing is I have a little bit, it's hard to see in this plastic bag, I've had it for a while, but it's a little bit of a long strip of DCF repair tape. So for my Z-Packs 10, if I get punctures or holes, I can tape up holes. I've had that forever, thankfully I haven't had to use it. I carry a very small bottle of Visine. You get stuff in your eyes all the time on trail, so it's nice to have that. I do carry a little thing of super glue. And this has helped me a lot to fix things. I cracked the arm of my sunglasses one time and glued that back in, and so it's always good to have a small super glue with you. I know a lot of people don't carry tweezers, and I also carry a very small toenail clippers, but I do it. It's you can get hangnails and all kinds of weird stuff if you're out on trail a long time, your nails grow. So I just like to have something to stay presentable. Sometimes I don't use this till I get to town and I wash it up, and then I can trim my toenails and stuff, but I just like having. A lot of people that are super ultralight don't bring it, but I do. On lightsmith.com, I got a very small light Spyderco knife. It's probably more than I need to spend, but it's really, really good. I had the little Swiss Army knife, but the blade was pretty inept. It just didn't really do much. You find that you don't need to kill animals or anything on trail with a big knife. You just need a knife for meat and cheese and maybe string and cutting. I cut Luco tape with it, but yeah, it locks. It's very small but strong and light knife, but I like it a lot. I carry a very small size Sharpie. You can make signs with this, write notes to people, things like that. But yeah, that's you can buy this at like Staples. They make the really small Sharpies. I have a little pair of foam earplugs in case I'm near snores or just a noisy anything. I always carry a small, extra small Bic lighter. I have one on my cook kit, but I have a small Bic lighter in case. You guys, this is really important. Like I have a stove that's self-igniting. You push a button and it sparks like you would a home stove, but it half the time doesn't work when it's very super cold or high elevation. So a lot of times in the Sierra, it does not work. So I have to have a lighter to make my stove work. But also, if you ever get in a crazy hypothermic situation and you have to make a fire, I don't care if I'm in a location where you're not allowed fires, I'm making a fire if it's gonna save my life. So it's good to not trust just your stove, but to have, so this is a mini Bic lighter. It's an extra one beyond the one I have in my stove. And I just think it could save mine or somebody else's life. Just found the cap to the super glue. All right, so the last thing is KT tape. Now, my story with KT tape, I swear by it. I think everybody should have some. But what happened with me on my PCT hike, when I went over San Jacinto, so mile like 180 something, being a bigger guy, it was a very big year in 19 snow year, and I post-holed and I exacerbated all the muscles in my legs. So the next day from Fuller Ridge going down, went down 8,000 feet over 15 miles to the desert floor to the 10 freeway near Palm Springs. And the combination of post-holing and exacerbating the muscles of my lower legs and then going down, if the next day had been flat, I would have been fine, but I went straight down and I got shin splints. First time and only time I've ever had them. And I did not have KT tape, never used it, but somebody I was hiking with did, and he actually, believe it or not, we hiked a couple days together, and he finally told me, yeah, I'm a retired doctor, so he put the KT tape on me, and I went 70, 80 more miles. It hurt a little bit, but it reduced the pain by 70% at least. I was able to hike to Big Bear and then go to Big 5 Sporting Goods and get some. So I always carry some KT tape. Mine came in a big roll, so I broke off like a bunch of like just 8-inch pieces like this. You can give them to other people if you want, but I carry a bunch of it. I have a whole roll still at home. I just noticed in here, I'm just going to go over it real quick. I have a couple pieces of stretchy cord if I need it for my pack, and just in case I need to tie anything off, I have a couple little baby pieces in there, but I haven't used those yet. But this is really important because you just don't know where you're going to get an injury, or you could help somebody else out. So I think it's really important to carry some of this. I carry it in its own little Ziploc bag so it doesn't get wet. And if you know anything about KT tape, it's it's basically the same thing but thicker, like Luco tape. So once you put this on there, it's not coming off. It takes a long time and a lot of sweat and water and stuff for it to come off, but it'll stay on at least to get you to the next town. All right, guys, so that's like everything that I could think of right now that I normally bring in a first aid kit. Like I said, I don't bring all this stuff. It's a variation of different things. When I go on the Colorado Trail this summer, I'll be bringing just a portion of this. But there's some things like, Luco tape and DCF repair tape, and there's certain things, and body glide I will always bring. So those are the standard, but and then depending on the trail and the time of year and the weather, that kind of stuff, I'll vary it. But I hope that helped you guys. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and definitely hit that like button. Both those things are free. As a matter of fact, the third thing you can do that's free is just hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I have a new video. I have a bunch more of these great backpacking, gear tips and hacks videos coming out soon. So look for those. And until next time, we'll definitely see you down the trail.